Greetings and welcome to my dear Geminis out there. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. The month of November is what we shall discuss for this reading, November 2022. This is a particular snapshot of the 1st of November at 6:05 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And firstly, I would like to look into Mercury, which is your ruler. And Mercury is currently in Scorpio in your 6th house. Okay. So when it comes to obstacles or enemies, there may be one of them that may be in your face. This could be a father figure, someone who resembles a father figure for this month. Doesn't have to be. It could be a patriarch, someone who's from the patriarchy, someone who lives on that divide. This also has to do with your own behavioral characteristics, something about your own ego identification when it comes to your everyday, your ritual. There needs to be a way to tend to a transformation of the image, self-image, when it comes to your own ego or your own sort of self-identification with your daily rituals, with your behaviors, your work. Okay. So work is a big theme for November as it kicks off on the 1st especially. This stellium that combines Mercury as well as the Sun, as well as Vertex and the South Node, as well as Venus in your 6th house is really intense. Okay. The thing is that because it's placed in Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Mars primarily, there's an activation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 houses away in your ascendant. There's an activation of a lesson that can occur in terms of deep transformation. You have to be careful because with Mars on your ascendant, and in your 1st house, your self-image as well as the way you present yourself in terms of your most immediate relationships may be perceived in terms of your actions or your karmas as duplicitous or as lacking in terms of right action or right doing. Okay. So your very self-image is being defined by the way you interact or square up with others in general, even wider systems of cultural influence. Okay. And this is not your intention. The thing is that with the impulse or the reactionary sort of energy that's here when it comes to greater culture or greater systems of human representation or human design, okay, are not being totally understood. And this is all interesting stuff considering that your own personal truth or your own personal frame of mind when it comes to deeper insights is going through major transformation as well. Pluto here, this is also aspecting 6, 1, 2, 3 houses away. Not only your most it's aspecting a transformation of your immediate location. Okay. And there's a way for you to actually celebrate the 3rd and the 9th house axis, okay, to activate sort of this mutable framework of trying to seek out truth, trying to seek out the exotic, okay, and then bringing that back to your friend circle or to your own way of doing things. Your own voice even is trying to be developed here. And I think the further you go out into the unknown or the unexpected in terms of your dreams or ambitions, through Piscean energy in your 11th house, with Jupiter and Neptune in retrograde, there's a possibility to activate some sort of deep transformational reconsideration on yourself, okay? And this is primarily what the takeaway is for this month. I've already looked into, wait one second, I need to see, there's one more thing. If you're trying to find some sort of stability when it comes to your spiritual maturation or your spiritual progress, there is something that you can learn about addressing karmas that are tied to your mother or your father, them obviously having their own lives, their own timelines, but are still somewhat united. There's a dry spell here that has to do with the awakening of certain karmic blocks Okay, great obstacles in terms of your own spiritual path and on the path of moksha or liberation. That has to do with essentially the instability of certain relationships that you have observed over time in your external world that are coming into conflict with your own sort of self-behaviors, okay? So there's a way to polish up, clear up, transform your own self-image, your own self-behaviors in order to progress onto the path of some sort of spiritual liberation with the North Node in your 12th house, okay? So hopefully that helps. Now, Mercury is 6 houses away, so I'm going to shuffle this deck 3 more times and we'll do the Great Mirror, okay? I've already shuffled 3 times, so it's 6 times. Okay, so an interesting dynamo here, considering that whomever you're dealing with this month, and you know, the Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order in order to see particular karmas that exist or that are influential in terms of a significant relationship that is with Gemini and someone else, okay? So for this month, I am seeing here an agent of a world that has passed, or a world that has rooted itself in something, especially because of all this Virgo and energy that I see here. They've influenced you in such a way that it has become fortunate. Because as the world turns with the Wheel of Fortune, there's something about you setting off on a new path that has to do with self-discovery or self-realization, the perfection of oneself through your 6th house, which is accentuated by a stellium in Scorpio right now, okay? But with the Hermit, that signifies essentially the 6th house. It signifies walking the right path, looking into the mirror of the mythic and trying to understand and ascertain, perhaps even critically ascertain some aspects about your own path, your own life, okay? I'm seeing here something of a tangent that you are going on, but then there's still some sort of rebounding energy towards the gravity of the world here. And this person signifies the world, but you're moving away from it. There's something about that is very auspicious because it's the Wheel of Fortune makes it so. So the one thing is that there is a type of way of thinking that is trying to be ended right now. With the 3 of Swords, there is a pain sequence that I'm seeing here that is activated through this situation, through this relationship as well. They have the burden here. What emerges out of it is essentially this 2 of Swords and energy here, which is significant of the new moon. Gemini's energy, being able to see by grasping and grounding and trying to find out some way to think about an element of crisis, okay? So there's a confrontation here of 2 different truths leading up to a truth of your own that comes through pain as well as comes through burden with them. They want to end a cycle, but it's a burden for them. There's something about this 10 of Wands that makes it quite difficult, considering with 2 different forms of subjective truth being held by the same person. There's no way to have true agency in discerning what truth really is, what communication really is. How to voice one's opinion and say the right thing to each other is very difficult. What I'm seeing here is also an interesting interplay on the unconscious realm, on the deeper level of the soul connection here. There's a lot of rooting in terms of the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the 2 of Pentacles. We have 2 court cards plus the 2 of Pentacles here. There is a type of offer here. On a deeper level, I think this offers either the Wheel of Fortune or the World, offering to someone who can essentially balance out and create a sense of order for oneself. There's a lot of Virgo and energy on their side. There's some fire element here, Sagittarian primarily, trying to end the cycle from the 9th to the 10th houses. There's also a way of idealization, a stepping down effect that occurs here that has to do with you sort of slowly approaching this situation in a way that would humble you, and this would create the sense of order or balance with this person. They are activating, essentially, there's a lot of activation of the lesser form of Mercury here. By lesser, I mean the sixth house, okay, which is the house of obstacles. It also is the house of parlor tricks. There's a lot of trickster energy in Virgo, even though Gemini also gets the trickster sort of archetype. And the thing is, it has to do with essentially the manipulation of certain abstract truths that come to fruition by truly gazing into the mythical mirror of Pisces. So the advice here is essentially to ground and to also provide a sense of stability in terms of what type of connection this is by departing from it, by essentially understanding that the way things spin right now may not be understood truly until it is spun, until you ride the tangent. Because as you do that, there is a chance for you to break and penetrate the centripetal force of whatever is holding you to this person, and you can go truly beyond that from the sixth house and beyond. Or there is a possibility to rebound back to it and then find oneself through this process, okay, to find terra firma. That is the very best I can do for this reading. Sorry, it was a bit esoteric, a bit complicated, but this is what you get, my dear friend. I do wish you well. Bye-bye.